If you're a teacher, you're a nurse, you're waiting to be deployed by the government of Zambia, please, this video is for you. There's a major development that cabinet approved, and this video is for you especially. So let's go straight into it. The government of Zambia has come up with a plan for the public service workers for recruitments. Now, first of all, for us to understand this, we need to look where we're coming from. A long time ago, there used to be two universities, the University of Zambia and Copperbelt University. So what used to happen is that once you are done with your education, you get your paper, your degree, your diploma, you are going straight to working, because there were less qualified personnel in schools, in hospitals, whereas there was a demand for trained teachers, trained nurses in hospitals, and schools. Now, it was very easy for the government to deploy people. So that's why during MMD there used to be, of course, massive deployments. But now when PF came into government, there were a number of developments, infrastructure development, of course, and universities started mushrooming. We saw coming in of Mulungush University, other universities, of course, like University of Lusaka. Of course, University of Lusaka started way back, must be around 2006, but they started getting the attention, of course, around 2014-15. So there was combination universities and other universities. Until now, we've got more than 55 universities in Zambia. So you can imagine how many personnels, graduates that these universities are flocking in the market every year. So there are thousands of graduates that are flocking the market every year. So there is a congestion, and all these graduates are waiting for government jobs. Why? Because in Zambia, the private sector is not doing well so far. There's less investments in the private sector, and the private sector does not pay well. I'm going to take an example. Someone that has studied science laboratory technology at Evelyn Horn can be deployed by a private university or private clinic, and will be getting paid maybe 3,000. But once you have been deployed by the government, you'll be getting paid 9,000. So that's why almost all the graduates, nurses, in the health worker, in the health sector, in education, they are all running for government jobs. So you find that someone is working as a pharmacist at a pharmacy, they will say that, oh, I'm doing a piecework, because to them, that's not a job. Until you are employed by the government in Zambia, that's what we call that I'm employed now fully. Contrary to this in Nigeria, Kenya, and other countries, once you've been deployed, whether be it a private sector or government, is called still unemployment. I've been employed. So if you're working at a pharmacy as a pharmacist, you're still employed. But here, because that I think there are poor policies that guides the private sector. So there's a lot of exploitation in the private sector. So there needs to be much investment and focus in the private sector. Now, saying this, what I've said is a background that where we're coming from. So now the government of Zambia has come up with a plan, and I'm going to read this for you. Just a minute. All right, it says, press statement by the chief government spokesperson on the decision made by the cabinet at the 13th special cabinet meeting held on Friday, 11th of July, 2025. The President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, called for the 13th special cabinet meeting in the year 2025 on Friday, 11th July, 2025 at State House, to deliberate on policy issues regarding the 2026 to 2028 medium-term budget plan for the 2026 budget presentations. So now there are a number of issues that they discussed. Of course, they're going to, some of them touches ZRA, that they want to maximize on tax collection as a way of avoiding tax evasion. So they're going to be using technology system that have been developed by the Smart Zambia Institute. It's called government bus service. I think it's like that. Yeah, it's going to be used for people to pay online. If you want to pay for your land rates, if you want to pay for tax, you're a marketeer, you're anywhere, you can just use your phone to pay to the ZRA. So that is going to improve efficiency, transparency, of course, and accountability. But the government also is going to reduce on tax and bring a lot of tax incentives as a way to promote people, encourage people to pay tax, as a way, contrary to the government increasing tax, wherein having a lot of people evading tax, only few people that are paying tax. So get me well, the government is reducing tax so that more people can pay tax. They'll make money like that than having higher taxes, but a lot of people are compliant. You have less money like that. So that's what the government is going to do. So the government wants to control the inflow of money and outflow of money. It's very important in any economy. You have to control the inflow of money. So there needs to be one entry point for money and one exit point for money. So this is called the inflow and outflow. So money in Zambia, of course, is collected through the Zambia Revenue Authority and distributed through the Ministry of Finance to different ministries. This is the inflow and outflow. So the government wants to seal in the leakages where money comes from, so as a way to have fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline is very important for macro stability. This is very important. So now, when the government of the UPND New Dawn administration came into power in 2021, they recruited. It was a mass recruitment ever, a single mass recruitment in the teaching fraternity. They recruited 30,000 teachers. That's a very famous phrase, about 30 pin. So 30,000 teachers were recruited. Then in 2023, 4,500 teachers were recruited. In 2024, 2,500 teachers were recruited. I think the number had been increased to around 3,000 for 2024. And now they're yet to recruit. So this translates to government spending more money on paying the civil servants. It's called a wage bill. A wage bill is basically the total number of money that the government is using to pay the civil servants. This is a burden to the government, and it's not really sustainable. So if you talk about sustainability, it has to do with limiting the number of people that the government is employing in the public sector. So now let's look at this particular clause that talks about the government maintaining a certain percentage. All right, yeah, okay. It's really tough, but yeah, it's got to be, right. So it says, with regard to expenditure policy and strategy, Cabinet approved the containment of the public sector wage bill over the medium term. This is aimed at safeguarding. Now, the medium term meaning is just only going to be 2025 to 2028. So that's 3 years. It's a medium term. A long term usually is 10 years and above. So just for the medium term, for the meantime, this is what the government is planning in order for us to maintain a stable economy. So it says, this is aimed at safeguarding fiscal sustainability, by maintaining the public sector wage bill at no more than 35% of domestic revenue. So the money that ZRA collects is what is used to pay the civil servants. So if there's a delayment in paying civil servants, it means that the ZRA hasn't collected enough money. So that's why sometimes there's usually a delayment for paying civil servants. Like last month, usually civil servants get paid their monies on the 24th, at least on the 5th. But there was a delayment last month. I think the ZRA had not reached their target, so that's why there was a delayment. So the money that is used to pay civil servants is collected by the ZRA, Zambia Revenue Authority. So now the government is aiming that they don't want to be spending more than 35% on the payment of civil servants. So now, if the government wants to limit the wage bill or payment of civil servant salaries to only 35% from the total money that is being collected domestically by the Zambia Revenue Authority, that means that they're going to limit recruitment. Also, they're going to at least going to not increase the salaries for civil servants, maybe for the medium term. So far, the government has been increasing the salaries for civil servants every year. But now, this is not also sustainable. So if you talk about sustainability, it comes with a very bitter pill to take, bitter pill to swallow, because you talk about strict measures now that can help you to grow the economy, and talk about stopping recruiting the people. You stop recruiting teachers, you stop recruiting nurses, you stop recruiting soldiers, you stop recruiting these sectors, so as a way to give yourself room to grow. But once you grow, it's good, because once you grow the economy, you're creating jobs in the private sector. So now people won't just be depending on government jobs, but they will be depending also on the private sector, because the jobs would have been created in the government sector, on the private sector. So this is what it is now. So it says, strategies such as targeted recruitments and leveraging on available personnel to fill in areas of insufficiency across the public sector will be deployed. Now this means that government, instead of having the massive recruitments or mass recruitments, they're going to be relying on the civil servants that, or people that are already working in government, if there is a vacancy. So let's do this. If there is a typist somewhere, or there is an office orderly that is working at the Ministry of Health, of course, at Ministry of Justice, or at Ministry of Education, this office orderly, when he was entering the service, the government, he only had a grade 12 certificate. But now he has got a degree, or he has attained a diploma in human resource. So now if there's a vacancy for human resource, the government is going to prioritize that man who is already in the system to fill that vacant position, rather than advertising for that position. So this is what it means. So the government will be relying more on the people that are already in service, the people that are already working, to fill the vacant position, rather than calling for fresh recruitment. But if there's no one in the system that has got that particular qualification, now they will be deploying the others that are on the waiting list. This is what this means. So I know this is not a popular opinion. It's a very a difficult thing to really accept, and to really, just reason with, because we are want every time the government to be deploying, but it's not sustainable, because we are only competing with very limited resources. That's why when you're studying economics, the first page usually you learn about the factors of production. You learn about land, capital, and all that, and you learn that land is a diminishing resource, and so meaning that the more people that you have, the more demand for land, the more demand for particular services is going to be. So you cannot continue to provide the service the same way that you used to provide the time maybe the population was just 10%. Now we are talking about 20% or 20 million Zambians that are out there. So the government is looking at the welfare of other people that have got skills. Skills is also important. The people that are also do not have skills, but they can use, I don't know, it's just looking at everyone. Not just looking at graduates, only teachers, only nurses. No. The government is looking at possibly all the sectors, the skills, people that are in skills trading, people that are in salon business, people that are in welding, all those issues the government is looking at. So the government is looking at a bigger picture in order to help everyone, in order to help all of us. The government has thought that they can limit the recruitment of these other sectors for now, so that they can concentrate on growing the economy. Once the economy has grown, the government, meaning that has provided opportunity, that has provided employment for even other sectors. Now, does this mean that there's going to be completely no recruitments? No. Recruitments are going to be there, but they're going to be very targeted. They're going to be very limited. Just like they have said, they're going to be first of all searched within the system. And if there's no one in the system, now they're going to advertise. But there'll be very limited positions that are going to be advertised in the meantime from 2025 to 2028. So this is where we are at right now. Sadly, this was released about 2 days ago, because I'm shooting this video right now. It's on 17th of July. So this was released about 3-4 days ago. But we have got lazy journalists in Zambia. Nobody knows about this thing that was released. People don't know. People don't even have time to even research that what's going on. What is this? What is truly is the topic of this? But people don't know. So you people, in case you didn't know, in case you missed it, this is where we are at right now. But yeah, I'll be looking for your comments. Of course, you can drop your comments, your suggestions in the comment section. Remember to like this page. Remember to subscribe to our channel, share the video, like the video. The liking part of the video is very important, because once you like the video, you've recommended the video to others for more people to see the video. So please make sure that you like the video. Otherwise, I sign out. More news is going to be coming. Please stay glued. You can trust me. Where news is concerned in Zambia, you can trust me. I'll be giving you the latest news. I dig deeper. I study. I analyze. I research for me to give you accurate news. So thank you so much, my beloved people, viewers. Thank you.